Good evening and welcome to BackChat. I'm your host, Tema Madima. This evening we are chatting to Monique Stander. She's in the building with us. Hope you guys are ready and looking forward to this evening. She's an 800 meter. She was an 800 meter fantastic, phenomenal athlete. And yeah, it's going to be good to just get a chat with her and catch up. Good evening, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. This is BackChat. I'm your host, Tema Madima, powered by Backtrack Sports. Welcome everybody. Hope you guys are doing good. Welcome. I see Monique is in here. Cam McKenzie, welcome to you. T Magic. Dayton, welcome. Carrie, give more. Welcome. I'm just gonna send Monique an invite and then we're gonna get started. Good evening. South Africa, Crystal Lude, I see you. Carrie, Madib, I see you. Welcome. 11 Future Stars FC, welcome. Cynthia Chechewa, I see you. Welcome to you as well. Hope everybody is doing good. Just waiting for Monique to accept the request and then we're gonna get started. Sweet boy Karau, welcome to you as well. Hope everybody's good. Just move back a bit. Just waiting for Monique to connect and then we're gonna get started. We are on episode number 99. Can you believe it? Already episode 99. That's crazy to think. Monique.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Super. I was worried. I thought maybe you're struggling to connect, but you have made it.
Yes, I know. I had a bit of a connection issue, but I'm here now.
Yeah.
Excited to be here with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yo, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Looking forward to this one. Obviously, it's always good chatting to athletes that participated for SA, represented, and also you've contributed a lot into making South African athletics better. So, welcome. It is an honor, and yeah, we look forward to the chat.
I'm also pretty excited.
How you been? Otherwise, you been all right?
You're busy with work, but yeah, I've been good.
That's good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do, Monique, I'm going to do an introduction just so that those who are watching, they can know who we are dealing with. And then from there, we're gonna get started. All right.
Okay, cool.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with us this evening, we've got Monique Stander. Listen up. She was, listen very carefully. This is all the stuff that she's achieved. World Under 20 Championship 800 meter semi-finalist. She is a SA Under 20 champion, SA Under 18 champion, as well as the SA Senior Championships, 1,500 meter bronze medalist, SA Senior Championships, 800 meter bronze medalist. Also got a 4-kilometer title as well in the cross country, believe it or not. And ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to Monique Stander. Yeah, that's you, yeah. You know that there's so many stats. One of the stats that always like it confuses me. Like I don't know, is the essay record. You know the essay record. What's up with that? Can you tell me?
I don't know. I don't know. I do have the official time, and it is broken, but I don't think ASA. I don't know if it's in their books. I haven't checked.
Okay. No, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. You said you don't want to overcommit as well. That's what I understand as well in my mind. But we'll.
Yeah,
You're also not sure.
Not sure.
All right, but we'll get to the bottom of this one. Let's do a few welcomes. I see Chris Arons is in the building. Derek Mukaleng all the way in the United States of America. We've got Eleboheng, Australia. Masetle is in here. Goflo 400 meter hurdles is here. Brian Coldman, Shaw Ulofsa is in here as well. Welcome, guys. Good to have you. Mashaba. Who else? Runaway Sport is in here as well. We also have Strep Prep. Welcome. I'm sure that's Leah. Welcome to you guys as well. And yeah, That is that. All right, let's get started, Monique. Obviously, there's a lot of questions I want to ask. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to ask any questions, make sure to do that. Remember, Monique, this is a chat. It's not an interview. You're not on SABC or BBC or any other Cs that they are out there. This is just BackChat. We're just going to kick back. And yeah, we're going to celebrate your achievements. Obviously, track and field in South Africa, I think we're in an interesting space at the moment. Yeah, there's a lot that needs to be done, I would say. But let's just start with you. Where did your journey start? When did you pick up running? Why did you pick up running? Why not boxing or karate or swimming? Why running?
I was always like a very active child, I feel. My parents always told me I could never sit still. So in primary school, I did everything from netball, hockey, cross country, hurdles, you name it, I did it.
Yeah.
And I actually focused more, well, not focused, but I enjoyed the high jump and long jump actually in primary school. So my first Gauteng champs was actually I qualified high jump and long jump. It was terrible. Wow. I never made it to it. It was horrible, but yeah. So and then I think we had a meet somewhere along the line, and I ran the 1,200, and I won that. And this guy came up to me, and he walked up to me, and he's like, "My coach wants to see you." And I was ecstatic. I was so excited. He gave me a Worshko Kempton Park water bottle, and I think like a toffee or a fizzer or something. And I was so excited. And that's where my path crossed with Meneer JJ, obviously. So that's kind of how that happened and where it started. So he asked me, just come to a training session and just see how it is, see how you like it. And that's kind of, that's where it started.
Yeah, interesting. That's so interesting. So you could have been doing high jump or long jump.
I could have. Oh, definitely.
Wow, I never expected that one. So obviously, school sports then played a very important role. You mentioned that's when when you ran 1,200, and then you discovered obviously that running is something that you can do.
Not too bad.
Yeah, not too shabby. Hey, Naj. So then, tell us about this process. So you come from obviously, I don't know how much you trained before that, and you just ran the 1,002. You won that. How does this come about? Now you're in a system where you are training and so on. How did you find it in the beginning?
Yeah, I think it was exciting because as I never used to train in primary school, it was all just great fun for me. And I think that is quite an important part of it. You need to enjoy it when you're young, and you don't have to, I think I personally feel like lots of parents put a lot of pressure on their kids at a very young age, and it shouldn't be like that. It should be fun. So when I started training, that was something new to me, because JJ obviously had his structures and his groups, and I was just like trying my best to keep up. So it was good fun. It was really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was the beginning of we can say you are probably one of the most deadly youth and junior athletes over the 800 we've had. And yeah, I mean, that's something worth celebrating. And I mean, what I love about with BackChat, it's nice to go back and have these chats, because sometimes when life progresses, you forget. You can forget what you've achieved, and I mean, what you've achieved. How many people get to experience that in life? I mean, you can give me one medal, I'll take it. I'll be more than happy.
It is.
What would you say was one of the most important things that athletics gave to you personally in your life?
I just believe that it learned me so much, the hard work and the dedication and the commitment. And that's something like literally that's what I said in my job interview. I was like, this is what I learned. And so it really is, you learn how to, stand on your own two legs, you learn commitment, you learn dedication, you learn. So with me specifically, I know I gave up a lot to focus on my running, and it was my choice because I knew that's what I wanted to do, and that's so I just feel definitely the hard work, commitment, and dedication is definitely something I take with.
Monique, running is hard, Monique.
It's
Hard. It's tough.
It really is.
And then you've got a coach like JJ, and his programs are tough. They're hard.
It really is. It is. I cannot tell you how many times he will quote you on this. The amount of times that I cried, he'll quote me on it. The amount of times that I cried at training I was probably the baby of the group because I cried always. That was me. So yeah, I know it's hard work. Hey.
It's funny because I was chatting to Yafro Lani and also JJ, and we were talking about some of those stories as well. But I mean, somehow when it came to competitions, you always put it together. Training was one big hurdle to overcome, and I always tell the athletes, like, I get to training like more scared, and like, because training is hard. I mean, you can almost die in training. In the race, you're supposed to go out there, and that's when you just go and enjoy it and have fun, and do what you.
I felt when I got to the line or whatever, I knew, my hard work. I knew what I put in, and I just felt like this sense of calmness come over me. That you're ready for this. You got this. Don't worry. But training is a different story.
Hey, training, you don't got it. You better worry. It's war.
Right.
What was your favorite session? Let's just I've asked a few athletes this, but what would you say is like one of your favorite track sessions? Once you got this session going, all right, now I'm in the money.
I quite enjoyed 300-meter sessions. I don't know, that was something I enjoyed. Because I quite like the speed. I absolutely hated doing kilometer repeats or like 3K repeats. That was my absolute death. But so shorter stuff, 300s, 600s, I quite enjoyed that.
Okay. Yeah, no, those are not that. I mean, I think that's the better. But 300s is like as a snack. It's hard. It's a hard distance. But I think if you got speed, it's like one of those where you can enjoy it so much. Role models. Did you have any role models coming up? Anybody you looked up to?
Role models. Definitely, I would say Mapaseka. South African role models, definitely. She, I remember, she's just always so nice and friendly, and she was really good. Well, she is really good. So I definitely looked up to her a whole lot. And then obviously the greats, Ilana, Zola, we always strive, us as girls always strive to be like them. So,
I mean, it's cool. It's interesting. We had both of them on here as well on BackChat, and just to hear them speak about the scene in South Africa, the amount of competition they had. Do you feel like the competition in South Africa? I mean, obviously at a young age, you were immediately running with a lot of the senior athletes. I mean, when you ran with Caster Semenya, when you ran one of your fastest times, you were chasing it there, this young Bambino doing a thing. Did you find that helped you more, or did you prefer running against your age?
No, I definitely preferred, having some competition, because that just, it helps with the times, it pushes you. I would have never ever thought me as a 16-year-old just turning 17 would be able to run that time. It's crazy. And, just running with them or running with quicker people, it just pushes you, and you learn things about yourself that you never knew that you didn't know you were capable of. So I definitely enjoyed running with the older people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had when we had Jenna on, she was talking about when she was looking at the 800 coming up, you were one of the person. She's like, listen, one of the people she looked up to when she was coming up was Monique Stander. I was like, what? She's like, because the times you were running, obviously going to World Juniors and all that, it was something that she could identify with and aim for as well, as a young athlete. It's crazy. You wouldn't have thought that, huh? I'm giving you this one just for free, so that you can know that people were watching when you were doing your thing.
Yeah, no, when Jenna came up, it was good fun because, that's when the competition actually got a bit heated. And, I had someone that was really hot on my heels all the time. So, yeah, that
Yeah.
was good. I enjoyed that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then obviously one of the most important things, like I mean, track and field in South Africa, I think
Yeah.
there is a lot that needs to be done. I mean, I do believe like middle distance in South Africa is one of those events where, I mean, we can compete on a world level, international level, at any one of those levels. Is there something that you've learned in your time that you feel like is very important and vital towards, especially female young athletes in South Africa, for them to, we need more of them running at these major competitions, world championships, etc.,
Yeah.
etc. What did you say is one of the most important things you learned in your time that can bring value to young athletes as well?
So one thing I literally took for granted is definitely strength training.
Mm.
That's one thing. And when I got to the States, those girls were in slow. I trained with the likes of Raven Rogers and Hannah Cunliffe. And so those girls are crazy strong. And I was there with my little biokineticist 2 kilograms, and they were major, major, like heavyweights. So that's one thing I think that we lack a bit. I don't know, me especially, is definitely the strength training aspect of it. I think we
Yeah.
often, overlook that part of, because it's not just running. Running is not just running. There's a lot that goes into it, and I really think that strength training is a big one that we often overlook, and we don't really always know know how important it is,
Mm.
and how much it actually benefits the running. So that's definitely a big one for me.
Absolutely. I think it's I mean in the school system it's so difficult because I mean you guys run in like I always look at especially like middle distance runners, we I think um we come from especially back then. It's changed now. People are so much more selective of races now,
Yeah,
and they plan and taper
yeah,
over much longer, periods,
yeah,
but I mean back then, and it was just about, especially in school sports, I still see it now, it's all about racing. Week
yeah.
in, week out, you can run a 400, a 1005, 800 in one day, and
Yeah.
then you're in the relay, and then it's you
Everything.
know it's crazy. But
Yeah,
with all of that, you know what I mean, to still be able to come out when it matters at national championships,
yeah,
and clocking 202s or running 416s,
yeah.
416, what is it, 45 on a 1,500 meter. It's crazy, so it's like, I always, even now, and I challenge a lot of like senior athletes to say, listen guys, there's nothing wrong with racing. If racing is part of your plan and part of if it's put into your training, it must be complementing your training, then you can
That's
race a lot and still be able to run fantastic times, world standard times at major competitions.
I definitely agree with you on that. I don't think, it's too many races or whatever. I just think if you're in top shape, it just sharpens you, and that's what I believe. I don't think you can race too much. So, yeah. Yeah.
Old school, you old school, you old school, Monique, you old
How it's
school.
done.
Yeah, that's cool. So I mean, obviously, let's talk about obviously high school. You discover you're working with Coach JJ, and
Yeah.
obviously the system. You talked about the structure that he's put in place, and you learn a lot about track and field. So your first national championship, I'll talk about under 18 because that's when it starts. Under 18 is good. Under 20 is even better because
Yeah.
everybody is even more developed. How was that winning your first title? Can you remember how that feeling
I
was?
It was, yeah. So I was 15 actually. It was my first time I went to SAs, and I
Yeah.
just obviously, so I was 13, started training, or 14, started training with Monique, and then So my under 15 year, it was my first essays, and I was so nervous because I've never qualified for essays before. You know, everything is brand new to me. So
Yeah.
that was really, it was such an amazing experience because I won the 800 and the 1500 that year, and it was just, you know, that's actually when I realized, oh sorry, that's when I realized, you know, this is something that I would want to do because I enjoyed the feeling of running. I enjoyed. So I remember there was a girl called Michaela. She used to run the 800 with me.
Yeah.
And her coach was Coach Villy at the time. And I remember when JJ used to always, so he used to whistle to me then to like tell me when to go or pick up. So you knew exactly what the whistle meant. So I think it was the 800. I got to the 300, the last 300, and I hear his whistle, and I start going, and I get to the 150, and I'm like, oh no, I'm done. I'm tired. And then I just hear Coach Billy shout to Michaela, cheetah, Michaela, cheetah. And when I heard that, I don't know where it came from, but I started running. It was like when it was JJ whistling to me, but I just heard cheetah, and I just ran. So that was really such an amazing experience. And yeah, I did that. So yeah, it was good fun.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean,
Yeah, and
yeah,
then yeah, I've carried on, and then my under 17 year I had a really, really good year. That's when yeah, that's when everything I feel just like kind of fell into place.
yeah, that's
It
2012.
was yeah, it was a good 2012 was a good year for me.
Brilliant,
That's
amazing.
but yeah, so Worlds was a bit difficult that year because I did it because I was still 16 and it was well turning 17 and it was World Juniors. So first I wasn't like selected for the team or whatever, and then later on they told me no, you're going to Worlds. So then we had to like scramble and try and get me fit because I was on a cross country program back then, and switch over back to track, and I had training alone, so that was quite tough. But yeah, it was such an amazing experience, you know, something that you never forget.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, to talk about Worlds, obviously that's like you said, you were still young. You were 17 running at Worlds. How was that experience? I mean, here you are representing your country very far away from home. How is that experience, you know, as a youngster going into like international competition? How did that feel for you?
It was scary. I'm not gonna lie. It was scary when you get there and you get to the warm-up track and you see all of these athletes with their headphones on and, you know, warming up, and they're so serious. And I'm quite like a bubbly person, so I like talking to people before a race because that kind of calms me down. And all of them are just so serious. So I was like, oh no, what am I getting into? But yeah, also, so I also ran barefoot, as you know, and that time, so we get called into the core room, and so they pluck everything to, like, they close everything so that there's no labels or whatever, and everyone's putting on their spikes, lacing up. And the girl in the core room was like, she kept pointing because they're Spanish, obviously she couldn't speak English, and she kept pointing to my feet, and I'm busy strapping them with plaster. And she kept pointing to the shoes, and I was like, no, I'm running barefoot. So yeah, that's also, it was so funny, that part specifically. But yeah, so it was just, and lining up for the race, you know, it was a tough race. But yeah, it was good. It was good. I learned a lot from it. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I mean, semi-finalist in that one as well. I mean, yeah, it's definitely the way to learn, and I think it's one of the most. I think one of the most important things. I mean, if you look at the competitions, the way the competitions are also set up in Europe and how they take athletics. You know, what you said. You know, you find people earphones and the focus. It's so crazy because it's like, you know, you get to see that.
I'm cool at that time. I'm used to running around on the grass, speaking to my friends, and now it's all super professional very quickly. So it was just, yeah, it was something very different.
Yeah, I mean, you there, colorful, but I mean, at least we know it worked. We've seen it work. Zola Bud was kicking butt without shoes for a long time, so it's certified
Yeah.
South African you know, something that South Africans do. I
It
see
is.
hier Sharika van Graan says hier met jou kalfvoete het jy gaan hardloop. Obviously Sharika, you and her, I'm sure she was at Kempton Park as well, yeah? Together at
Yes,
Kempies.
yeah, we train
Yeah.
together. So, hey,
Yeah.
Sheree.
I see your vrouw Lalani van Lalani is in here as well. She's here to Coach Lalani is here to also hear what you gotta say. Henry Makane from UJ, welcome to you as well. We've got a few other people. I'm not gonna get to everybody. Ngoni Makusha, all the way from Zimbabwe, he's in here. Kotori, welcome. Race Walker 5,000. That's a long way to walk, 5,000 meters. We've got Ruan van der Veld. Welcome. Yeah, let's continue. So obviously, then you come. I mean, like we talked about 2012. 2012 was a crazy. I mean, World Junior Championships semi-finalist, SA Under-20 champion, SA Under-18 champion. You go to SA Seniors as well, and even there, I mean, you had a fantastic SA Seniors, where you finished. What did you had a bronze in the 800 and the 1,005. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, fantastic year, and then obviously to finish that off, I mean, running PBs, left, right, and center. What would you say is, you know, when you look at your time and your career, what would you say is one of the most like vital things that you've been able to take into, you know, even post athletics? Obviously, post athletics for you came at a time where, you know, I don't think you wanted it to come, but I mean, it's difficult and it's life. You know what I mean? I mean, you can always look back and look at what you've achieved, and I mean, nobody can ever take that away from you. Like never. You're in record books and so on. What did you say you've been able to take with you, and you know, that has helped you to progress into the next, next phase of your life?
Yeah, just like I said earlier, you know, the dedication and the hard work that you learn from it is so important. So yeah, it's definitely that. Definitely that is probably the most important thing that I've learned, you know. And you also, they always say like it's a individual sport, but I don't really think it is, because the friendship that you build, and it's amazing. So yeah.
So Sharika says she's my best friend. Sonia Stander saying that's my cousin. Yeah.
All of these people that I forced, I was like, tune in, you have to.
You gotta tune in. Yeah. Awesomeness. And then we're gonna wrap it up soon. Obviously, I mean, there's a lot of things that I wanted to talk to you. Obviously, you also had the opportunity to go to Oregon. Nicole Lowe is there at the moment now, so you know, so that's cool to, you know. I mean, it's a big university. I mean, the opportunities that you were able to get through athletics, it's just mind blowing. A message. I need a message to South African athletes, female athletes. Hey, female athletes. Hey, female athletes. We need you guys to hang around. We need you guys in this sport. What message do you have to them? Obviously, there's a lot of challenges. We know. We can talk about support. We can talk about finances. We can talk about structures, etc., etc. Especially as a senior athlete, I mean, it gets harder. What message would you say would you give to young female athletes?
So I live by this quote, and I feel it is so my favorite quote of all time is, the more you sweat in training, the less you bleed in battle. So yeah, I just think just keep going, you know, and you're gonna get tough times and stuff's gonna happen, but just listen to your body is also quite an important one. You know, your body knows when it needs rest, and that. So just listen to your body, and you know, just keep going. You're gonna get ups and downs, but don't give up on your dreams. And yeah, the more you sweat in training, the less you bleed in battle.
Remember that, ladies and gentlemen, the more you sweat at training, it's gonna be so much easier in battle. I'm gonna take your advice. I'm gonna take you up on that. And then obviously there's a lot of people that support you. I mean, you can look at Sherika Fanfan. She is one strong girl. She is a fighter. We've got Zani, literally my biggest inspiration from a young age. Ask a question, Sherika, if you want to. We've had the likes of even Jenna saying, you know what, you were one of her biggest inspirations when she was running. And I mean, I'm sure you've made a lot of friends internationally as well. Um, what message do you have for them? You know, everybody who has supported you and was always on your side while you were running. Obviously, now you've transitioned. We'll get to that. I'll ask that now before we close as well.
Yeah, I just, it's people don't realize the impact that they have on your life. So hearing this is amazing because you don't realize it. You don't realize that, little kids look up to you. You don't always, you just go day by day. So it's so amazing, truly, to hear that people actually looked up to you. And so, yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone that has ever been there for me, that has ever supported me, ever said a kind word. I truly appreciate it.
Absolutely. That is how it should be. We should always build each other up. And yeah. I mean, it's the only way to go about it, especially in South Africa. I mean, we don't have, what we have in South Africa is you just have to, fast bait. You need to you just have to fight, all the way.
That's the thing. I just wish I could bring like the American facilities and just transfer it to South Africa because it is, it's you don't realize what big difference it makes to have those things. So I just wish that for like every single South African athlete, just so that they can experience that because it's insane.
Explain to me. Obviously, I've never seen it. I've seen videos here. Especially you see a lot when it comes to like American football and the movies and whatever. But like, what was the experience like? I mean, we've got universities here. I mean, there's Tux, UJ, Poch.
Yeah.
What's the difference? What are these universities like? You need to break it down so people can understand how behind we are.
Yeah, just their facilities and the professionalism of it all. You don't feel like a college student. You feel like an absolute professional athlete when you get there. They give you your kit. You get there, you get your kit. In Oregon, especially, it was amazing because you could go in and you could just trade in your shoes. If you feel like you wanted a new pair, you go hand in your old pair, you get your new pair, and then you go train. So just like, yeah, you had physios there to, if you wanted to go see the physio, you were allowed to. There were hot water, like cold water tubs, hot water. So you would do after each training session 2 minutes in the hot, or like a minute in the hot, a minute in the cold. And so we had gym every like 3 times a week, and we had a specific like gym coach there with that did every single person's program individually. So it was just, you can't compare it. It is very, very difficult to compare. And the nutrition, you get a dietitianist when you get there. There was like a little mini fridge with like snacks in. So you could go in, you could take your yogurt and your string cheese and you could carry. So it was amazing. And also just, I think a very important thing as well is if you get an opportunity to study, that's something that I want to say. If you get an opportunity to study, do not waste it. It doesn't matter where it is, if it's in South Africa, if it's in the States, do not waste that opportunity because anything can happen at any time. And if you mess around and that was me for a long time. I was just like, I'm at university so that I can run. And then you actually realize that anything can happen and you need that behind you. So that's also a big thing. Don't take that for granted. So I just wanted to throw that out there as well.
Absolutely good advice. Youngsters, don't take advantage. Don't take anything for granted.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Cherish every moment. Monique, thanks a lot for joining us this evening. I really do appreciate it.
Thanks
I learned
I had fun.
Yeah, I learned some stuff. Time was flying as well. People have to watch their soapies and stuff. So I don't wanna I don't wanna get into people's Netflix and chill times. But yeah, really appreciate it. And I mean, I think it's good to have these conversations.
Yeah.
The thing is that we need to. I personally believe that once you've achieved or performed at a certain or specific level in South African athletics, we have to do as much as we can to keep everybody, whether it's giving advice or helping
Definitely.
the youngsters that will come. I mean, we can't waste. We can't afford. If we had all this, if we had fantastic structures, we could afford to waste. You know, the what is it? Human resources, which are the athletes. You know, but we don't have that. So we need to get as much out of the athletes as possible. You know, that's I think the best we can do. So yeah, appreciate it. Hopefully, we can do more of this, and we can use you more to motivate and help young athletes as well in the future.
Definitely. Thanks so much for having me. I really had fun.
All right, same here. Thanks a
Okay.
lot. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it straight from Monique Stander. Thanks for tuning in and watching. Thanks to each and every one of you that was able to watch. We had a good time. We'll be back again next week. This was episode number 99. Next week, we're hitting the magic 100. So look out for that, and we're going to be doing a few giveaways, some shoes, some other stuff as well. So tune in, guys. You can win some stuff. You can learn something as well. So yeah, see you guys next week. Monique, thank you very much. Sleep
Thank
well,
you.
take
Bye,
care,
everyone. Bye.
and God bless. Take care. Goodbye, everybody. Good night.